Hello everyone, this is Agent Toad reporting in from somewhere else planet, bringing you today my thoughts on Touhou 18.5 as someone new to playing the actual games. Before I got all of my knowledge of the series mainly through memes, the wiki, and other sources. But today I finally decided, what, I'm going to buy an actual game and play it. And let me tell you, it's great. I can now officially say that I love every part of this franchise. But before I get into, all my thoughts, let me just tell you the basic plot of the game for anyone who doesn't know. 18.5 is set directly after 18. Since the ability cards are still around, Marisa is going off to investigate why they're still around and, why they're gaining in value. So the game revolves around bullet money in ability cards. Bullet money is what you get for grazing bullets, and ability cards can be bought with bullet money. The main gameplay structure is you get attacked in waves by different enemies, and you have to graze while surviving to get bullet money, which you then spend in the shop to get ability cards, which you can then use against a boss. And after you beat that boss, you get the ability to select an ability card to buy, and then you can buy it from the shop and equip it at the start of your run. If it, isn't something like the Dorami card, which literally just gives you a card that you can buy in the shop. The game, the gameplay is simply structured as a wave by wave survival. The way it works is it starts off as a very easy wave and then works up in intensity, and the waves also increase as the stages go on. For example, stage 1 has 4 waves, stage 2 has 5 waves, and stage 3 has 6. And all of those are including the boss as their own wave. Now then, we're moving on to the main gimmick of this game, which is this thing, aka what I like to call Marissa's black magic. The black magic is what allows you to get bullet bullet money from grazing, and you can also shoot it out to graze bullets that aren't next to you by pressing the X, which is usually the bomb button, meaning in this game you have no bomb. But in return, you have ways to farm money on some opponents. The black magic can also be used to slow down enemy attacks and in some cases destroy them. For example, with the cards I have the Koichi card, the Flandre card, and I'm forgetting what else at the current moment. But I have those 3 cards equipped, and if you have the Flandre card equipped specifically, whenever you shoot out your black magic using X, there's a chance that some of the bullets will just disappear, which I find to be really helpful. However, don't use this too much, seeing as, well, overuse of black magic or using it at the wrong time could cause some attacks that you could usually dodge to become more deadly. Now with the basics out of the way, let's get to my thoughts on the game as a beginner to the franchise. Well, not just as a beginner to the franchise, but just as a beginner to computer games as a whole. Since before this, the only computer game I've played was Hollow Knight, and I only played that for about an hour. So I really have no experience when it comes to just PC gaming in general. Well, the first thing I noticed in regards to the controls is how nicely they are on the keyboard. For example, Shift is slow down, Z shoot, X is black magic, and C is to use a active ability card. I don't find myself using C much. However, it's easy to swap between shoot, black magic, and slow just due to how they are on the keyboard, and I find that really nice. And it's also in a nice hand position for my hand where I can, it's not like I'm straining to reach up, so it's not unnatural. As for movement, movement's just nice. It's just satisfying. It's precise, and that's all you need for a Danmaku game, since you need to be able to dodge precisely, and the game delivers. As for whether or not I like the game, I can officially say I'm getting addicted to this game slowly. because of how fun it is to play. As I said before, the game works in increasing waves, but the thing about the waves is number one, they're randomized, and number two, depending on the stage, the enemies change. For example, stage one is fairy, stage two is ghost, stage three is Onibi, and I haven't gotten past stage three. But what I really like is the randomization. You're going to fight the same things twice. However, you're probably not going to fight the same things twice in the same order. I like how it keeps mixing things up so you can never get too used to the game. Which leads into the next thing is this game is really good at teaching me how to just play the game in general. With never being the same, I can't just figure out strategies to just work for one stage and then I just go into the next and it's like, oh, what am I doing? I did not learn. But in this game, it switches things up so much that you have to learn how to play the game instead of just formulating a strategy. And I really like that. As I said, I only started playing. Yeah, this is my first PC game, and I only started playing around say 36 hours ago at the time of recording. And I'm already pretty comfortable with the game itself. Of course, I'm still going to die to the stupidest things, but I'm better than I was at the start, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. The game also serves as a great introduction to enemies, seeing as the way it works with the waves. They show you different types of enemies and different types of patterns they can shoot. For example, maid fairies can shoot kunai, they can shoot notes, or the onibi. They can shoot orbs, they can shoot these diamond things in the patterns they appear in, which is really nice if you want to hop into another game. I assume because it's like, hey, these patterns will be in this game, so you can practice them here, and then when you see them in another game, you know how to dodge them, or at least you have some sort of idea how to dodge them. And it also gets you acquainted to enemy variants with their different types of Danmaku. The same can be said for bosses, since at the end of every stage you also fight a randomized boss. And for their areas, I can say the bosses are pretty good, for the difficulty. And then there's just that one boss. Yeah. Anyway, my overall thoughts are it's a very fun game, and it's a good game, to just hop into the series on and get acquainted with the series. So yeah, that will be all for me. I probably missed something. I'm hoping I didn't. But yeah, I've been Agent Toad, and I will be signing out now. Have yourself a favorable existence, and I'm going to fuel my addiction and go back to playing that game. See you all next time.